Welcome to Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. So glad you decided to tune in and check out the prospect action in the Dodgers system. Actually, this is a game that just got over in Albuquerque between the AAA Oklahoma City Comets and the Albuquerque Isotopes. Albuquerque, if you remember forever, was where the Dodgers AAA affiliate was. They were the Dukes back then. Who you're seeing here is Tyler Fitzgerald. Tyler Fitzgerald is a young man the Dodgers just picked up. Basically, they traded him for cash. Not basically, they did. They traded for Tyler Fitzgerald and gave cash back. And this is a young man that has 21 Major League home runs. He has 28 stolen bases. So another one of these guys that is quad A depth, meaning he has Major League experience, and he is on a minor league contract. I'm sure the Dodgers got him fairly cheap. And he had a good game today, 2 for 4 with a double, 2 runs scored, a walk. He got off to a really, really tough start this year, Tyler Fitzgerald did, but he's back up to 250. His on-base percentage is 367. He's slugging 500 in May. He's hitting 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. I'm not super familiar with his game. I have not seen him play live yet. I'm excited to get to meet him. I'm sure I'll get to interview him next week. And as the summer now, we're pretty close to being out of school, I will be able to go to Oklahoma City and Tulsa quite a bit and get all sorts of interviews. All the Tulsa players, Josue DePaula and Zaire Hope, and then guys like Ryan Fitzgerald, Tyler Fitzgerald, Antoine Kelly. I just plan on in the next month or so getting interviews with just a ton of these players. So I'm super excited about that. So just kind of stay tuned with these guys, Tyler Fitzgerald, Ryan Fitzgerald, and the guys here. Alfonso had a big day today, all the quad A pitching. And then talking about a guy who's not quad A at all, this is a pitching prospect that has really worked his way into being a good pitcher at the AAA level. Christian Romero, how about today? 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 4 strikeouts, 3 walks, 35 innings on the year for Romero. He has produced a 45. There's Alex Freeland. Too bad that he's back in AAA. He had a couple of hits today. We'll address him here in a minute. 45.8% ground ball rate. He's given up just 3 home runs because he's given up a ton of ground balls. Fastball is creeping up there. It averaged 94.7. Again, averaged. That's really good for Romero there. And his fielding independent pitching is at 487 across 8 appearances. So the stuff is definitely 100% ticking up for Christian Romero. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And you talk about somebody who is ticking up, and there is no doubt about that. That would be one Mr. James Tibbs, who today, again, had 2 more hits. James Tibbs, the third. Don't let me forget the third. He reminded me of that when I interviewed him. Don't ever forget the third, because he's super proud of where he came from. 2 for 4 today for the former Seminole. 2 walks as well, so he reached 4 times for AAA Oklahoma City. The Comets won 12-5. So 294 so far for Tibbs, OPS of 988, 11 home runs, a 145 WRC plus. James Tibbs III has been 45% better than league average in 39 AAA games. 308 ISO, I mean, that's a huge number. That tells you a 308 ISO means that to just have an even K percentage, he could have a strikeout percentage all the way up to 30% and still have an elite combination, or trade-off, I should say, between power and striking out. And 30% strikeout rates is a huge number. So that just goes to show you, I only give you that context to show you just how incredible a 308 ISO is. 56.5% hard hit rate for James Tibbs III. And sit down when you're listening to this. 92.3% average exit velo. And the hardest ball he's hit this year has been 109.4. So James Tibbs III is hitting. He's hitting the ball hard. He's hitting it consistently. And he is off to just a great start for AAA Oklahoma City. There is no doubt about that. And then, like I said just a minute ago, actually, I got the wrong file here. Let me open up the right file. Like I said just a minute ago, just absolutely unfortunate that Alex Freeland had to be the guy that got sent down. Hey, I am on record. I've said it many different times. I totally agree with the decision. I've explained the decision on our Dodgers Dog shows. It wasn't the wrong decision. It just sucks really, really bad if you're Alex Freeland and you got the nod to begin the season. You felt like you had a chance to never go back to the minor leagues, and here you are back with AAA Oklahoma City. So lots of cliche, but it is what it is. And because it is what it is, what Alex has to do is control what he can control. Again, a lot of cliche, but it's all true. And just kind of wanted to point out that, Alex Freeland is back with AAA Oklahoma City, kind of what he's doing with AAA Oklahoma City and, the production that he is giving. So wanted to get into him, and now we're going to move to Double-A Tulsa. Going to start here on the pitching side. This is one Mr. Evan Shaw. Evan Shaw, hey, the ERA is not incredible. It's not terrible or anything, but he is getting a lot better. He gives up a ton of ground balls, and especially when he gets ahead in the count, he likes to ride that fastball high, and then he really controls both sides of the plate with his breaking balls, both his slider and his curveball. And when he does, he gets a lot of weak contact and a ton of ground balls. As a matter of fact, he's posted a 4-to-1 ground ball to fly ball ratio, which is really, really good. His problem is he's floated back and forth between control and command issues. But whenever he gets ahead in the count, he's controlling counts. He is one of the most effective. You see that right there. He's one of the most, that kind of sliderish pitch that's coming in. 1-2 count. See how he moves the ball. He's going to be very effective in these situations where he's ahead in the count, because then he can control the at-bat using that right there. His sweeping breaking balls, his shorter breaking balls. So Evan Shaw, hey, if he can just get the control and command down, he's not overpowering, but he does overpower in terms of controlling counts and dictating what types of pitches that hitters have to hit whenever he's going good. So 15.2 innings on the year for Shaw. He's given up 10 hits, 1 earned run, 5 walks, 12 strikeouts. 0.57 ERA, 6.9 strikeouts per 9, 2.9 walks per 9, 0.96 whip. So 3 innings pitched the other day, 1 hit, no runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts across 45 pitches. So the numbers I just gave, the 15.2 and all that, he's had a couple of bad outings, but actually he had one bad outing where he gave up 5 runs. But beyond that one outing where he gave up the 5 runs, those are his numbers outside of that. So let's say that one bad outing's an outlier. Beyond that, we're looking at 15.2 innings pitched, 10 hits, only 1 earned run. So Evan Shaw, when he's controlling counts, does a very, very, very good job. And hey, we had a question the other day on our Dodgers Dog show. Hey, what's the deal with Carson Hobbs? And we mentioned, hey, he's not controlling counts. He's not getting ahead in the count, which means that high fastball, that becomes a cat and mouse game for him, because whenever he's ahead in the count and he can throw that thing about 3 to 4 inches above the strike zone, he gets swing and miss. But whenever he's not ahead in the count, he's behind the count, he has to throw that thing for a strike at the top of the zone, and that's when he's given up some home runs. So that's been a really fun, interesting cat and mouse game for Carson Hobbs. So he had, a couple, 2 or 3 outings that went sideways on him. Last 2 outings, it's been Carson Hobbs again. What's been the key? Again, he's gotten ahead in the count, which means he's controlling counts, which means when he's spinning balls and throwing balls up at the top of the zone, he's throwing them to locations that he is dictating, and therefore hitters can't ambush him. So good to see Carson Hobbs get back on the saddle, if you will, get back into being who Carson Hobbs is, which is a strike thrower with really, really, really dirty stuff behind that, and a real bulldog mentality. So good job, Carson Hobbs. Fun to see him bounce back. And another young man who has bounced back for his entire career. This is one Mr. Nick Robertson, who, by the way, has yet to give up a run, period, in his 16 innings with Double-A Tulsa. You remember he made his major league debut with the Dodgers a couple years ago. He got on the trade train, the DFA train, found his way back to the Dodgers in this last offseason, actually just recently, and now he's pitching for Double-A Tulsa. No runs, a 31.5 strikeout rate, 5.6 walk rate. So think about how good that is. Opponent batting average of just 0.39 against Nick Robertson, a whip of 0.31, a 25.9% strikeout to walk rate, which, I mean, that's ridiculous. And he's stranded every single runner that he has faced this year. So Nick Robertson is doing just absolutely fantastic. I'll be interested to see. I'm not sure why he hasn't been pulled up yet. I mean, it's not like AAA Oklahoma City doesn't need some help with their bullpen, but we'll see how long that takes. I think that's a win, not an if. And then on the offensive side, Griffin Lockwood Powell, who, by the way, just kind of to be point blank, didn't have a great offensive season last year. I only say that to say he is having a very good offensive season to this point in 2026. 280, OPS 889 for GLP, the all-time RBIs leader for the University of Central Michigan. Actually, I think it's Central Michigan University. Don't let me mess that up. It's CMU. Sorry, Go Chips out there if you're listening to me here. So a 194 ISO, which is good, a 458 slug, and Griffin Lockwood Powell has posted a WRC plus to this point of 128. So that is very, very, very good and very exciting to watch. We're going to flip around here now. We're going to actually go to Ontario, the Tower Buzzers, and then we'll get back to Great Lakes and their walk-off from Jesus Calise and yesterday, because there wasn't a whole lot of action there. It was just more so just kind of like they got ahead early in the game, and then they scored late to get the walk-off win. So let's go down to the Ontario Tower Buzzers, and this is Anson Eros. I'm telling you, I've talked to Coach Blake Hawksworth, who is the pitching coach now at Oklahoma State University. Blake was the pitching coach at Oregon last year, where Anson Eros played his college baseball. So Blake and Anson work very close together. I've talked to Blake about Anson, and he is very high on him, said his work ethic, his work process is absolutely elite. And this is a young man that's very athletic. He's played a lot of outfield in his day. Okay, he's a switch hitter. He has good pop, but as you see right there, very Charles Davillon-ish type of swing, meaning it's flat, meaning he's just trying to gather hits. He's trying to be a great hitter. And trust me, he does have pop. So a really good athlete. Very versatile, can play the outfield, good arm, very good defensive catcher, great work process, and a very flat swing that should gather a lot of hits. So I really like Anson Eros. I think he's a nice young catching prospect in the Dodgers organization, no doubt about that. Elite work ethic and a lot of tools to really kind of dig into and want to follow as he continues his career through the Dodgers organization. So another young man who is, this one actually is very highly rated. I love Emil Morales, okay? If you want to put him and Joendry Vargas side by side, I don't really know Joendry. I don't mean to throw him under the bus or any type of situation like that. I've got to say that Emil Morales has greatly jumped ahead, greatly jumped ahead of Joendry Vargas at this point in stage in his career. 333 average this year, OPS 962, really good athlete, plays with a really fun energy to the game of baseball, big-time leadership skills, and all of that put together really makes for a very fun and a very much so a deserved, highly touted prospect in the Dodgers system in Emil Morales. He is backing up the hype, no doubt. He is very excited. The start that he is off to is very exciting, and just all of his tools and the way that he's putting them together is very exciting as well. You talk about a young man with tools. Nobody has more tools than Jaron Elkins. This is a guy that will be close to the leaderboard in home runs, and at the same time, he'll be close to the leaderboard in steals. He has a world of power, a world of speed, every tool you could possibly want, except for maybe the bat-to-ball tool. So we're just going to wait and see. We'll see if the bat-to-ball skills can improve for Jaron Elkins, because I can tell you this, as guys move up the ranks, if the bat-to-ball skills aren't good, no matter how talented you are, like a Jose Ramos, like a Damon Keith, they will find your holes. So as talented as Jaron Elkins is, At some point, the bat-to-ball skills will have to improve. They will have to catch up with the rest of the skills that he possesses, and he no doubt has the ability to do that. You got to remember, this young man's a baby, man. He got drafted out of high school. The fact that he is showing to be able to use all these tools and use them in games to actually create results this early in his career just shows you how talented he is. So definitely put Jaron Elkins in your Rolodex. And another guy that you need to have in your Rolodex 100%. He's healthy. I know Seminole State, that's a JUCO here in Oklahoma. The Florida State Seminole fans are kind of frustrated that he wasn't healthy to pitch for them. But Cam Leiter is healthy now. His first pitch yesterday, 97 miles an hour. And, man, I'm telling you, he made it look easy. And some of the breaking balls he spun, look at that high-riding fastball. That's Emmett Sheehan looking right there with that fastball. And the way that he spun the ball to the glove side corner like that little cutter, that's just crazy good considering the velo that he's putting behind it. Look at that right there, the shape of that pitch. That's very hard to hit. It looks just like it's fastball. That's why the hitter is out front just a tick. There is that breaking ball there. That is a ridiculous pitch considering if you look at those pitches, they were all tunneled to the exact same location. And then that last one, that breaking ball just dove and had depth on it. Look at that breaking ball getting under the swing of the lefty. Cam Leiter, absolutely electric stuff. ERA on the year down to 2.84. Average against just 2.05. And his whip is 105. So very, very, very excited to see Cam Leiter and him to get things started. Just a wonderful, wonderful talent. His dad, Paul Leiter, by the way, I know all about Cam, and the reason is his dad, Paul Leiter, was part of the turnaround in Oklahoma State in the early 80s. I believe Paul played in 1983, and he too was a pitcher. So I follow Oklahoma State religiously. I remember all the great names that built that wonderful program at OSU, and so definitely I never forgot Paul Leiter, his dad, and so whenever I heard Cam, I was like, oh, look, very cool, the Dodgers got him. So that's a lot of fun. Hey, Jesus Calise, this isn't the fun hit yesterday. Jesus Calise, if you remember, was a top 30 prospect about 4 or 5 years ago, him and Carson Taylor. Carson Taylor, by the way, is in the Seattle organization, and he's no longer catching. He's playing first base. Jesus Calise dealt with injury. He just has kind of been in and out of being injured. Good to see him get 2 hits yesterday, including that walk-off right there to end the game for the Great Lakes Loons. Sweet swing and right-handed swing. Very good at using the middle part of the field, using the big part of the field from gap to gap. So good to see Jesus Calise back. Hopefully he can just stay healthy for a long enough period of time for us to be able to evaluate just what he's capable of doing, because the Dodgers, again, got him out of high school, and he just hasn't been healthy since. So keep your eye on Jesus Calise, and definitely keep your eye on Eduardo Quintero. He got off to a horrendous start. I think the cold weather got him. I'm going to say that. He might kick my ass if I ever see him for saying that. That's fine. I'll take that chance. 243 average, which isn't just absolutely awesome. I get it, but it is if you consider the ridiculously bad start that he got off to. Let me give you an example. Literally 1 month ago today, on April 14th, Eduardo Quintero was hitting 111, He ended April going 4 for 6, and he's 11 for 29 so far in May, which means he's 15 for his last 35. So in his last 35 at-bats, Eduardo Quintero is hitting 428, and by the way, he has 5 outfield assists. I think the most underrated part of Eduardo Quintero is the arm. It's not just the arm strength. He has very good arm strength, no doubt about it. But he's one of the most accurate throwers of a baseball from the outfield in minor league baseball. All of minor league baseball. I'm not exaggerating by saying that. One of the best offensive tools in all of minor league baseball. Again, I'm not exaggerating. Mike Sirota had 2 hits again yesterday. 10 multi-hit games on the year. Average of 336. OPS 1143. 1143 OPS for Mike Sirota. On base percentage of .489. So when you see this right here, okay, I want to stop that. I want to back that up. I want to actually play this at slow speed, and I will back it up, and we'll take a look at this. This is why I love Mike Sirota so much, his swing. Okay, if I can get back to it right here. Okay, so what I want you to watch is watch how directly he gets his hands, and which means he gets his barrel to the back of the hitting zone. Watch how direct of a path he takes. See how direct of a path to the back of the strike zone he gets. So he gets to the back of the strike zone very directly, okay? See how he's getting directly to the back of the strike zone right there? Now what I want you to watch is through the hitting zone, see how flat his hands come through. Let me back up just a touch here, and I want you to watch his hands. Now watch how flat his hands come through the hitting zone here, and how subtly he turns this barrel with his top hand. See how flat that is? Now then, so he's been quick to the backside, to the back of the zone, which means you're going to have a lot of hard ground balls, okay? Then he's flat through the middle, which means you're going to have a lot of line drives in the middle of the hitting zone. And then as I back this up, watch how in front of the zone, the barrel goes back up. See that? So you're down and back, flat in the middle, up in front. A lot of hard ground balls on the back of that swing, a lot of line drives in the middle of it, and then a lot of balls in the air, which is why Mike Sirota can hit home runs in the front. That is an absolutely picture perfect swing for Mike Sirota. One of the reasons why he is such a huge prospect and why I love his swing. So I just love those swings that allows you to hit the ball at all parts of the zone. I just think it gives you margin for error. You can hit ground balls if you're a little bit late. You can hit line drives in the middle of your swing. And if you're a little bit early, you catch it out front, and then you can hit home runs. Okay, Mr. Rockstar, I've been telling you about this guy for a long time. Sterling Patick, how about this? Yesterday, for Patick, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Masterful job of Sterling Patick working both breaking balls to both righties and lefties, and then also throwing the elevated fastball to both righties and lefties. And he gave up a ton of ground balls. See that sink right there in the break? 9-3 ground ball to fly ball ratio. So for every fly ball he gives up, he is inducing 3 ground balls. He stranded every runner that he faced yesterday, needed just 74 pitches to throw his 6 innings. So every time he needed to make a pitch, he did. So he was efficient, and then also he was clutch whenever he needed to make a pitch. In fact, he's been doing that all year. So try this on for size. With runners in scoring position, his batting average against is just 148. 148. So Sterling Patick is off to a great start in 2026. He is a huge prospect. I'm telling you, he's a rock star. He's a SoCal boy. Dodgers fans will love this young man, Sterling Patick. So that's going to do it for today's Down the Farm. I want to thank you for tuning in. Hey, hopefully the Dodgers can get after them Gigantes again tonight. I'll be watching. We'll be very excited. Oklahoma State starts their series with Arizona. They're hosting a softball regional tomorrow, so my Dodgers coverage might be either late or non-existent for the next couple days. It's going to get very busy, but I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, remind you, it's a great day to be a Dodger.